Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here at a new filming spot location because guess what? We have something electrifying from Volvo. This is it. This is a 2023 Volvo XC40, but guess what? This is a Recharge twin motor. So what does that mean? This is a small size, fully electric SUV from Volvo. But before we get into this XC40, let's talk about what's going on here. Volvo, they're taking the time during this electrification process to really kind of reinvent themselves a little bit. Still have the same fundamental things that make a Volvo, but also bring some new, fresh design and of course, new customers to their lineup. Now the XC40, you can buy as a plug-in electric hybrid, the whole 9 yards, or you could go twin motor setup with this full electrified version. Now, obviously, the number one player in this segment is going to be Tesla with the Model Y. And a lot of people have already talked about what the Model Y brings compared to the XC40. But what I want to do is I want to focus on another brand that's still fairly new to the luxury segment. That is Genesis. They've been around since 2015. And guess what? Not only do they have one, but two competitors to this XC40. What are they? The GV60 and the all-new GV70 electrified. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this XC40 Recharge twin motor and see, is it the better new SUV you should be buying over that competition? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the shape. It still looks like your hybrid and plug-in version of the XC40, and I really like that, but there are some unique differences. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna get that great headlight style that Volvo is known for, especially with Thor's hammer as that LED daytime running lamp, your turn signals are LED, and of course the headlights. Now working your way down, you do have a little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy, but what I like is you have functional LED fog lamps, which is a very, very nice touch that's going to make sure to illuminate the road in front of you. Now, on the lower portion, they did something very interesting. They created the style of Volvo without having a traditional grille. So I like the way they sectioned this off. You got your Volvo badge with the forward-facing camera, a little bit of gloss black and some functionality. And then on the lower portion, you have even more functionality and flat black. And remember, all this functional space for air to flow through is because this has a liquid cooled lithium ion battery pack. And we'll talk more about that when we get underneath the hood, but definitely comparing it to the look of the GV60 and the GV70 electrified, this definitely has a more unique look, saying that this is an electric vehicle. The GV70 electrified almost looks identical to the internal combustion engine version, and the GV60 is really the one that has a smaller, sportier style, but still has a lot of similarities with the GV70 electrified. Very interesting how they did that. Now, when we rise up onto the hood, clean style. I love the way you get a nice little rise, and then it boomerangs and goes into a Y formation towards the mirrors. We come around the bend, what are we working with? We have optional wheels. These are diamond cut, not laser cut, not water cut, diamond cut aluminum wheels, machine aluminum with the gloss black, 20-inch wheel. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this? You're looking at 235 on the width, 45 series on the sidewall, and you do have, remember, the all-wheel drive. Motor up front, motor out back, gives you that instant all-wheel drive. My big zonk is this right here. That's gotta go. I love this color. It almost reminds me of Cactus Gray, which is on the Bronco, that Ford color. Nice metallic. Let me know how you feel if you think this color would look amazing on the fender openings. I probably am gonna guess that you're gonna say yes. Paint those suckers, Volvo. So that is the zonk. Coming down the side, you do have color match on your mirror caps, and they are electric folding. Really small on the LED lighting. I like the way they did the two-tone. So you have your painted roof with the roof rails. We got a panoramic roof up top, looking good. And then of course, as we work our way down, that's where you're gonna have your gloss black trim around just the bottom. They kept this portion flat black, and I like that because you already got a ton of gloss black. Color matched on the door handles, nice indentation on the side here. Gives it some character. Flat black along the bottom, I'm okay with that, but like I said, it's these guys right here. We do have our Recharge badge. Like the way that they stamp that as the painted black comes into the body color. Of course, you're gonna have your full charging capability. You plug it right in there, and then swing it around back. There's a lot of things I like, and there's one thing that I don't like. This right here, this exposed wiper. Look at this, they got plenty of room because they extend that roof spoiler nicely from the glass all the way back. Get rid of that. Clean on the Volvo badge, XC40, and of course that full LED lighting. And then of course, the only way to tell from behind that this is electrified is the Recharge Twin. That lets you know that you got the 2 motors. Working our way down, just a little splattering of gloss black, everything else flat black. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about what the heck is underneath it in this Volvo. All right guys, we got the hood open now. You might say, well Joe, there's nothing to look at. There's a bunch of plastic, but the nice thing is they have this compartment. Now, you could do 2 different things of this. You could put the charging accessories, so when you're charging, or you could put easily 4 boxes of Twinkies, and you know what? They'll stay nice and warm, just like your grandma used to make. So what are we looking at? Underneath all that plastic and sheet metal are 2 electric motors, 402 horsepower, 486 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds, quarter mile in 12.9. Top speed is governed to 113 miles an hour. Range is 223 miles. Worth the range. And if you're wondering what about MPGs, 92 in the city, 79 on the highway. It utilizes a lithium ion 75 kilowatt per hour battery pack that can be put on a DC fast charger. It weighs 4,791 pounds. So very interesting that this thing has over 400 horsepower and all that torque. But I don't know about you. Let's turn it on and see it move. All right, guys, we're inside this Volvo XC40, this being the Recharge Ultimate Twin. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm about to go buy a Genesis. I'm this freaking close. Some of my friends tell me not to buy one because it's a Hyundai product, but I really like them. But guess what? I'm also liking this Volvo. So much different from a BMW or an Audi or even a Mercedes-Benz, but how much is it? So this one being the top dog, the Ultimate trim, with all the goodies, the optional wheels and everything in between, you're looking at a price of $61,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I like the way they do a very unique style. Soft touch material. You got this cool, like, sort of etchy rock type thing going on in the center there with that bright silver door handle. We have the optional Harman Kardon sound system. I'm not a big fan of the carpet felt material on the rest of the door panel. Just not my thing. But the great news is you'll be able to go to Jersey Mike's, get an extra long Italian sub with extra pickle and a bottle of Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I like the way they've done the AC vents. You got that same kind of etchy crack rock thing going on. Looks pretty cool. And then you have that 9-inch infotainment system. It is that portrait style, and it is small compared to what the competitors are bringing. But the great news is it's cleanly integrated. I know a lot of people don't like a stuck-on screen. This screen is definitely not stuck on. Now the biggest zonk is working the AC controls. I don't like having to touch the screen. Plus, what's weird is once you go to about a 3, it's like hurricane force winds in here. So I don't know why from 1 to 3 it's intense. And then if you go to 5, it actually blows you right out the sunroof. So it's really crazy how powerful the blower fan motor is. But you do have your dual climate control. You can go into your seats, 3 stages of heated, 3 stages of heated for both the seats and the steering wheel. I didn't want to turn on the heat right now because I'm already hot enough as it is. You hit the camera button, nice clear resolution. You could do your 360. There we go. We could access whatever part you want. Just the problem is, if you noticed, when we were in that standard setting, it doesn't take up the whole screen. Working your way down, you do have an actual radio knob, which is nice. We do have a 12-volt, 2 USB-Cs, wireless charging, and a place for 3 Twinkies. You just stack them up. 2 cup holders. This crystal right here is gonna be for your transmission. Obviously, single direct drive transmission, but that's how you go from drive to reverse to neutral, and then you hit the button for park. Little heavy on the gloss black. You do have a little garbage can, which is kind of nice. So you can put your trash here. If you're wondering what is this thing, this is for my microphone. I don't know why I left it there, but I did, and I apologize. Lift this up. You got enough room in there, I would say, 4, maybe 5 NES game cartridges. Or if you are into TurboGrafx 16, you could put plenty of those, because TurboGrafx 16 game cards were very small. You could probably put, I would say, about 22 of those in there. So let me know what type of old school games you play in the comment section. Seats, it's all recycled material. The piping, the stitching. It is like a cloth style, which is surprising at this price point, but they are comfy. You do have electric assist for the passenger. I have electric assist for the driver. And then you do have that nice panoramic sunroof. One touch operation. I want it closed because it's so hot today. But you know what? Come over to the business end. I want to show you behind this Volvo steering wheel in the XC40. All right, guys, here we are, business time. You do have 2 memory seat settings. You do have a little tiny aluminum sill plate with the Recharge name. Seat controls within fingertips reach. I'm 6 feet tall, and even though this is a smaller SUV, I got plenty of room. One thing I didn't show you is this right here. And look, you get this nice little kind of key ring to put the rest of your keys on. But this is your key fob, Volvo, with the buttons on the side, and you have the Swedish flag. Collect all the flags of the world, and you do get a free prize from Volvo. Just saying. Steering wheel, leather wrapped, nice thick steering wheel. Horn button, not digging it. I need something that says I cost $61,000, because that's what this car costs. So I would like some stitching, maybe some of this material here on the horn button. I do like the way there's flat black on the switch gear on the steering wheel. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, but you do have a nice digital display with your navigation, the Google Maps in the center, and all your other readouts. So that looks real good. No head-up display, which is having me scratch my head in confusion, because you would think at this price point you would have a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy you went with the V over the other brands. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, back seat time. And you know what? There's actually a pretty decent amount of room back here, especially headroom, even with the panoramic sunroof. One of the things I don't like is the screen. It's like if you're gonna have a sunshade, have it block the sun, not be see-through. I don't understand that. That's like going to the beach with a bathing suit on, because bathing suits are required, but your bathing suit is see-through. I don't get that. Seats though, you have that recycled material all the way around. Not the biggest fan of the cargo nets, but the good news is, and you just gotta pinch it just right, is that you could actually put the book, the history book on how to make Swedish fish by the Swedish chef himself. And he actually did it while he was in a Volvo. So kind of cool. You do have your rear AC vents. Those are gonna keep you cool or warm. And then down below, you do have 2 USB-Cs and some heated seats, 3 stages each. I got plenty of room in here. And then guess what? You pull this down. What are you putting your elbow on? Recycled material with 2 cup holders. Not really the softest, but these seats are pretty supportive. Let's go ahead, let's get in a cargo area, because I'm dying to see how this Volvo drives. All right, guys, cargo area time. You're gonna hit the button right underneath the L. That's gonna raise up, nice electric assist, and you're gonna be actually greeted to a pretty decent amount of space. Remember, there is an electric motor underneath that floor area, but what we're looking at is 21.7 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down and you're almost gonna get 58 cubic feet of space. Now, I like the way they have this nook over here, about the size of a gallon of milk. On the driver's side, you can slide in a big old bag of now and laters. You could have them now, you could have them later, hence the name. Underneath here, here's all your charging accessories. It actually tells you charging cable. We're gonna read this book together before the end of the video. If you don't put the charging cables back here, this is where you could have your 4 boxes of Twinkies. So just figure out where you want your Twinkies. Do you want a nice chilled Twinkie, or do you want that hot, fresh Twinkie, just like your grandma used to make? I know which way Steven would go. And then of course the seats, I'm gonna show you, it is a zonk, because I gotta walk around to the passenger door to put them down. So, but I'll show you what they look like. It's cool because the headrests snap down very quickly, and they're actually going to fold nice and flat, which is a real big plus, especially when you're going to Costco Or say you went to the fair and you won that, 12-foot stuffed teddy bear. Now you have somewhere to put it, but totally flat, just like a piece of paper. Flat piece of paper, not a crumpled up piece of paper, but usable space. I don't know about you. They say this thing has 400 horsepower, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle and we'll find out together. Guys, we are in this Volvo XC40 Recharge Twin. And right away, what you're gonna like is how this is set up exactly like a traditional Volvo. Nice, large digital gauge cluster with the Google Maps in the center. Even though it's not the largest infotainment system, I still think 9 inches is plenty. Plenty, and like I said, the way it's integrated, easy to get to. The one thing though is being pinpoint precise, perfect, say that 20 times fast on the AC controls. Because you gotta go in, and then you gotta select what you wanna do, and it's like, I'm trying to drive here. That's what I'm trying to do. So just something to be aware of, easy to get right back to the home screen, so that's the good news. But visibility is fantastic in this thing. Nice size mirrors, and really did a great job on the sound deadening material in here and the great rigidity of the chassis, because like I've said before, I'll say it again, when you have an electric vehicle, then the new challenge is you got to really take into consideration all noise and vibration that's coming into the cabin, because you don't have an engine to cancel any of those vibrations out. But going down the road, super smooth. Of course, when you go on throttle, you're going to get that instant torque that pushes you back in the seat. I just wish there was an easy way to adjust regen braking in here. I've become so familiar with having regen braking in an EV that it's kind of weird to not just be able to simply control it by some paddles or something. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Golly. This thing freaking leaped right off of the ground going over that intersection. That's the kind of freaking force that this vehicle brings with the twin electric motors, and if you're looking to be the fastest, this is going to blow the doors off of a Genesis GV70 electrified or a GV60. Those are fast, but this is faster. Now, seats are comfy and supportive without being too over bolstered, and I think your rear seat passengers are going to be just fine. The only thing that's a little weird is having that high tunnel in the center, especially because there's no drive shaft in this vehicle. But you'd be surprised how well it does handle, especially once you go on throttle. But like I said, it's crazy if you're not used to that instant torque, what it feels like, and really gets up to speed so very well. I mean, look at this, into this right-hand bend. You just got to remember that we are not on performance tires. These are all seasons and obviously lacking some of that overall grip. But that's not what this vehicle's about. This vehicle's about getting that range, getting the MPGEs, and doing it in style, Swedish style, and of course having that power when you want it and when you need it. But I like the feedback coming to the wheel. Very, very light on its movements, good on the feedback, not white knuckling anything. Look at this, round and round and round we go. On throttle is where we're going. And that really is gonna surprise people. That guy in that Mustang GT was like, whoa, is that an XC40 accelerating at the speed of sound? I mean, think about this. This is gonna go 0 to 60 faster, or as fast as a Mustang GT manual. Or if the person has a slow reaction time, one with the 10-speed automatic. But here we are on the highway. Like I said, I think with the size, it's so maneuverable. And with all the power, you're just able to get out of not only your own way, but of course everybody else's way. But out on the highway at cruising speeds, very smooth, very comfortable, very composed. And I like the way that we have some other options rather than just a Tesla Model Y. And I definitely applaud Genesis for bringing the GV70 electrified and the GV60. There's just something about the simplicity of this interior that I do like. Maybe I wouldn't exactly have it optioned this way, but I do like the way the interior is in this vehicle. Very well put together, and not a bunch of just like, cheap type materials. And there's no theatricals. Like when you get in the GV60, I know it's cool. You got that little crystal ball looking thing, and then it flips over, and that's the shifter. You don't get any of that in here, and I kind of like that. I like that they're just keeping it down to what the vehicle is about, and it's about getting you to where you need to go, but of course with the power, getting you there with a little bit of excitement. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. This thing is just a rocket ship. It really is. And then, like I said, over rip pavement, they did a great job with the suspension tuning. Really soaks everything up nicely. You're not getting too much road noise from those 20-inch tires wrapped around those wheels, which is nice. But I think the thing that I like the most is just how easy it is to drive. And of course, you have that blind spot monitoring that's there to make sure you stay in your lane, even when somebody is riding in your blind spot. Nice to have those safety features, and I like to be able to have them work and show you what it's all about in this vehicle. But I'm hoping that overall the review's been a good one for you. We need to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a sweetest second. All right, guys, it's been a good time in our new filming spot location. Definitely want to thank Tyler and the rest of the crew over at Volvo for getting us access to this XC40. This being that twin motor setup of the Recharge model to get that full electrical power going through the four wheels. But you know what? Let me know what you think. Would you go Volvo over the two Genesis models we talked about, the GV60 and GV70 electrified? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to the guy who really electrifies everybody's lives. Steven, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Steven, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.